Most traders don't fail because of bad trades. They fail because they keep making the same mistakes over and over. This video ends that cycle now. What is going on, everybody? My name is Cody Ashmore, and I am an futures and options trader at Simpler Trading. I've also been a prop firm trader for 9 years, and then I've also been a trader for the last 10. And so, yes, I've actually entered the prop firm world long before all of these online futures firms have hit center stage in the trading world, but that is where we are now. That's for a later discussion. But what I will say is the firm that I started off with really instilled two things into my trading process, and I really do believe that it is something that all traders, especially developing traders, are missing in their trading development in order to become successful. And those two things are journaling and discipline. Sounds silly when you say it. It almost feels like homework, and I know most people don't want to do it. But I'm telling you, those are the two missing keys on the reasons you are not being successful. It is not an indicator. It is not anything other than having to do the work. No one ever wants to do the work. It's kind of like that funny saying is how everyone wants to be a gangster until it's time to do gangster stuff. Well, it's kind of like being a trader. If you want, everyone wants to be a trader until it's time to do trader things. Being a trader, you are, if once you make that decision to become a trader, you are making that thought and decision that you're basically entering an athletic performance type of industry or profession, because being a trader is basically mental athleticism. You need to approach it like being an athletic trader or athletic trader, like an athletic person, I guess. Athlete? Yeah, anyways, that is a blooper for you. I'm probably not going to erase it because it's funny. But you do have to treat it like a professional athlete would. And if you stick around to the end of this video, I'm going to show you some free tools for your journaling, and I'm going to give you my personal tips that I used to help me become a professional and successful trader. All right, so let's go and get started. So like I said, we're going to master journaling and discipline to level your edge. If you want my free course on how exactly I get funded in 1 to 3 days, then click the link in the description. Inside, I'll walk you through everything that's actually worked for me, plus any of the unspoken concepts and some of the biggest myths around day trading futures that no one is talking about. So, I know it does feel like homework, and the question is why journal? And this is why journaling actually works. It turns emotional trades into data driven lessons. You'll be able to see mistakes you make over and over and over, and then you'll finally be able to see why they're happening, when they're happening, and then you'll be able to do something about them. You can mitigate them. And well, just like it says here, it helps you identify patterns and wins and losses and forces reflection and accountability, just like I said a second ago. You really do have to take a step back and look at your performance. I do weekly reviews of my trading performance every week to see how I'm doing. Am I in flow with the market? Am I making mistakes? Is something not working that used to work? Those are the type of questions you need to ask yourself as you're journaling and as you're reviewing your journals, your journal trades. So, what do you log when you're journaling your trades, right? So, whenever you're journaling your trades, you need to annotate why you're entering the trade, where your stop loss is, where your targets are, how are you going to adjust your positions and position management if anything in particular happens. Like, really, what is your entire plan for this trade? It needs to be in there. And then also, it wouldn't hurt for you to annotate your emotions before, during, after, and then whenever you self-reflect on your trade, what are you? Is there anything you need to change, and do you need to do it, or is there anything you need to change in your plan, or can you do it again, or do you need to? Was there any plan or any issue with the trade, and what you'll do different next time? All right, so journaling is very hard for people to do. It feels like homework. No one likes homework. I don't like homework, but I tell you, man, I used to journal for like 2 hours. I probably did it too much after trading. I did a lot. And before you get to journaling and just like following a trading plan, you're going to have the discipline to journal and be honest with yourself in your journaling. When I talk to some people about journaling, they journal the trades, but they're skewing the truth a little bit. And then when you're skewing the truth, you're not exactly giving you the data. You're skewing your stats, your data that helps you analyze your trading performance. Don't skew your trading performance and the truth, because then you're going to get inconsistency, because what's really happening is not being documented, and therefore you can see how it doesn't quite work. So you need to have the discipline to journal correctly. So here is the discipline loop. So if you have discipline, you have the plan, right? You follow it, you journal your results, you see all your results, and you adjust on the data there. And I'll give an example of that here in a minute. And you just keep repeating it. You have a plan, you follow it, you journal it. What are the stats from the said journal? And then you just keep on doing the same cycle over and over until anything needs to change. So once you obtain all this data, how does it help you? Well, it helps you by knowing, you'll learn your emotional patterns. I'll give you some of my examples that have affected me. You'll be able to catch revenge trading early, and you'll identify time of days that you're weak at trading. For me personally, what I've learned is I don't trade very well into the afternoon. It's just not my thing. My sweet spot is within the first hour to 2 to 3 hours in the morning. Then that's it. Anything in the afternoon, my trading performance significantly decreases. And if I don't get a trade in within that time frame, I just don't place a trade. That's my time to clock out and walk away. Something about knowing my emotional patterns as well is I know whenever, say I hit my profit goal, or I'm close to my profit goal, and I see another setup that I could take. Me personally, my emotional pattern that I have identified in myself is I won't take another trade, because I have learned, say I am $100 away, $200 away from my profit goal for the day. But I see another setup I could take that's within my trading plan. I don't take it, because I know if this, I'm so close to my profit goal, but if this one trade I'm going to take does not work out this time, I and it turns into a loss, and now I was close to my profit goal. Now I'm either now red on the day, or not even a break even, or maybe even just a small winner. I know I get emotionally more upset about that, and then I could potentially trigger into over position sizing and revenge trading, to make up for the loss I just had, because I was so close to my profit goal. So for me, once I get close, I just don't even take it, because I can't lose any more money, I guess, if I don't click the button. So for me, I know that's an emotional trigger for me. So if I'm close, I'm done. And that's how I catch the revenge trading early. So that's also an emotional trigger, which is kind of ironic, right? How it leads into the other thing. And then it also helps you identify times. And if you're a futures trader, it will also show you which products you don't trade well in. Some traders do well with the NQ. Some would rather trade the ES where it's slower. Some think the ES is too slow, so they'll go the NQ. So it really helps you identify your strengths and weaknesses through journaling. All right, so it also helps you mistake track. But so if you could track your mistakes, it equals profit growth, just like keeping your losses small and your winners larger, right? Track your rule violations. Note it in your journal. So in your journal, you annotate or type up, or however you're going to do it, did you follow your trading plan? If you broke your trading plan, why did you break your trading plan? Like, lay it all out there. It really is truly a self-reflection, and be honest with yourself. I can't say that enough. Be honest with yourself. And like I said there, like, did you follow your trading plan? If so, or if you didn't, why? Why did you adjust? Like, there are some reasons where I can see why you adjusted, but you need to make sure you know why you're doing it and it's justifiable versus an emotional trigger. Don't let it be emotional. Be emotionless when trading. And then have a strike system for accountability. Like, if you keep breaking your plan and you just keep on digging a hole. You just can't seem, and you keep on breaking your trading plan. You're entering a trade. A good example of this is I have a friend that's learning to trade, and I ask him, "Hey, why did you enter that trade?" And he'd be like, "You didn't have a reason." Like, you need to have a reason for entering a trade. If you can't tell me why you push buy or sell, or tell anybody why you push buy or sell, then you shouldn't be trading or entering a trade. All right. So if you keep breaking that rule system, and say you have a 3 or 5 strike and you're out type situation, go back to paper trading, go back to evaluating your stats and learning where your triggers are and how to mitigate them, and or maybe even develop your trading plan a little bit differently. And so as we circle back around to the journaling and how this helps you in the discipline side of things, you need to reinforce your discipline. I can't preach this enough. I really do believe this, but if you could practice your discipline outside of trading, it will trickle into trading. So, what are some very low cost and effective ways that anyone could do at any stage of their life to reinforce a discipline? So, a very good one I think is diet and exercise. The reason I think this is important is just like a trading plan, there is a diet plan and an exercise plan, right? Or exercise regime, whatever it may be. For me, I like to stick to eating no processed foods. I stick to an animal-based type of diet. For me, it works well for me. And my exercise is I do a lot of running and I also practice Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That is what I enjoy doing. And there are times when I don't want to follow those things. Like I don't want to follow my diet plan. I want to go eat a big bowl of ice cream or something, right? And just like in your trading plan, there's going to be times where you don't want to follow your trading plan. And it's going to feel the same. You're going to have the discipline to follow your diet plan or exercise plan. It's going to trickle over for you to follow your trading plan even when you don't want to. If you could practice your discipline, your consistency will stay strong, and then therefore will bring on your profits. Prioritize your sleep. You need to be well rested whenever you trade. If you are tired, if you went out partying the night before and you think you're going to come in and start slinging some dollar bills and you're going to make a bunch, there is a possibility where you may not do overly great. And then you could easily be triggered into an emotional state because you are fatigued, thus digging into a big hole, and then you just lose a lot of money. That is not good, and no one wants that. Prioritize your sleep. And if you hit your daily loss limit or your personal loss limit, whatever you want it to be, close down your system and go for a walk. Get away from the system for a little bit. Me personally, whenever I hit that limit, I shut it down, I walk out of my office, and I go for a walk outside. It's good to catch a little breath. You get to think about it in your head, and I come back fresh, and I'll see what's happening, and I start journaling my stuff. All right, so bonus tools for journaling. So there are some free tools out there. There is TraderView, which is one of them, and I'll pull that up right now. And there's also Excel, but TraderView is actually one I use. You can sign up for free. They have a free side of it, right? And you can sign up. You upload your statement to it, and I believe you can link your account to it, and you can journal your trade, and you can see the graph. You'll see right on the chart where you entered, where you exited. You journal it all there, so you can see exactly what your stats are. TraderView is a good one, and there's also Excel spreadsheets. Obviously, that is one you could use when wanting to, if you don't want to use TraderView. Okay, and another thing is use screenshots. Don't just write it, screenshot it. You need to see what's happening in real time. For me, now this is the big one that I think really helped me. So kind of like now, I'm using a screen recorder. I would record my screen. It'd have my charts. It'd have my level 2, everything where I'm entering trades, right? And it's recording. I'd have a headset on, and I would voice the setup I'm seeing, basically my entire trade plan that I'm looking to do, right? I see a trade forming, I'm saying if this, then that. I'm saying where I want to get in, where my stop loss is, where my target is, and all is why on all of those. And now let's say I enter a trade. I voice my emotions. What am I thinking? Any changes that are occurring? I'm basically being a commentator for a sports event. I am commentating my entire trade that is occurring in front of me. Win, loss, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I would always rewatch the tape, just like a professional athlete. I'll rewatch the tape. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? Did something just click? Like, did I oh, that was interesting. Should I remember that and add that to my trading plan, or take note of that for the next one? So you just keep doing this over and over. And I get it that a lot of people will just want to trade and click buttons to get repetition and practice. But if you watch the tape that you just recorded then it's like getting more swings at bat. You get to see the same thing over and over and over. And for me, doing it for so long, you start to build an intuition and how you look for price action to play out because you kind of get a feeling like, oh, I've seen this before, and you kind of know how it's going to move. You start to gain a little bit of intuition for doing it for so long. And just remember that screen record it. If you don't want to do screen recording, so that's too much for you, at least screenshot it and then document on there, like type it up. Let me see. I have an example of one of mine. All right, so like here's an example of one that I did today, right? So here's Bookmap, if you're unaware what it is. Right here, I noted where I saw passive buyers, and I noted where I sold half of it, and boom, right there, that's how I'm annotating it. And then on top of this trade right here, it also like goes in with this setup right here, where you can see where I got in long and short and things like that. So I'm always annotating on my charts to so you can see, um, so I can evaluate my trade performance. And you also do screen recordings like I mentioned. And like I said on there, keep it simple and be consistent. It doesn't have to be an essay. I would say the easiest and most simple way was definitely screen recording. If you want it fast and easy because you're already doing it in the moment, you're voicing it, and all you have to do is sit there and listen to it. You can listen to it while you're using the restroom. Instead of looking at social media, watch your playback and evaluate yourself. You know what I'm talking about. You can do it there too. So just evaluate it. All right. If you have found any of this helpful, please, if you're new here, subscribe, like, comment, follow. Feel free to ask any questions you may have. If any of this didn't make sense, please ask a question. If I need to clarify on something, by all means, ask a question. I'd love to get back to you and give you your answers. So quick recap and takeaways on this entire video. I do believe the two missing keys that a lot of traders are missing is journaling and having the discipline to journal and the discipline to follow their trading plan. If you can journal and have the discipline to follow those two other things, then I think you are on the path to the right. I guess the path to profits, I guess is what I should say. And journaling reveals patterns and drives improvement. I mean, I think I said that enough, and I think you get the point there. And discipline is built through structure and feedback. Your discipline is going to be structured. You're going to get the feedback from that structure, and you're going to keep on repeating it over and over and over. And when journaling, after about 25 trades, evaluate your progress. Like, is your P&L going from the lower left to the upper right? Are you consistently breaking your rules? And after 25 trades, say you haven't hit any consistency, it's okay to take a step back and look at it and think, okay, what needs to change? After 25 trades, there's something that needs to usually change, and evaluate your stats and data to see what that may be. You don't need more wins. You just need less forced losses. So, like I said, I hope you found this video helpful. And are you ready to level up your trading? I think you are. Start journaling and start following some sort of discipline plan. And I'll see you in the next video.